Hey, Motorman here. Boy, that was hard to watch, dropping a $50,000 motorcycle, not once, but a few times. But here's the good news. That bike happened to have front and rear crash guards on it, so there was no damage to the bike. And the rider is very determined to really learn the proper techniques and how to implement those techniques. We're going to talk about exactly what he did wrong here and why this happened. And you should also know that if I have a class with, say, 10 people, usually 1 out of 10 is going to drop their bike, usually just once, but sometimes once or twice. But I'm going to tell you why that happened in this particular case. There's several reasons for it. In this case, is just one reason why he dropped the bike. I also want to remind you that this coming Sunday, we got the first cold front coming to Florida. That means it's going to be 65 degrees in the morning and 78 degrees in the afternoon, no humidity, and we still have plenty of openings for this Sunday's class. That's the 12th. Happens to be my birthday too, so yeah, you could come to the class. It's $150, and make sure you bring a cake. Let's take a look at this and why it happened. Generally, people have a fear of leaning their motorcycle, but that's not this rider's problem. Did you see that? We're going to watch it again. What this rider's problem is he can't stay in the friction zone. In other words, his clutch throttle coordination needs a lot of work. As he goes into the turn, he starts letting the clutch out. It's fully engaged, and he winds up going too fast. This is, by the way, a 30-foot turn. Then he pulls the clutch in, puts his foot down. I warned him about that. He puts his foot down again, pulls on the clutch, and down goes the motorcycle. In this shot, we see him weaving through the cones, doing okay. Could dip the bike a bit more, but he keeps going in and out of that friction zone. Watch as he makes this turn. He starts letting the clutch out. The bike picks up speed, and he barely makes a 30-foot turn. Now, watching this exercise, as you can see, he doesn't have a fear of leaning the bike, and that's good because that's something that takes quite a while for people to get over, but he doesn't have the fear of leaning. His head and eyes are very good. What happens, though, when you saw that front end pop up, it's because he let the clutch out all the way. The bike picked up speed, then he had to pull the clutch back in. That's going to cause problems when you're trying to make turns at low speeds because the bike seems to have a mind of its own. When you let that clutch out all the way and you give it throttle, the bike leaps straight ahead. And we don't want to go straight here. We want to turn the motorcycle. Here's the first scene that I showed you at the beginning of this video where he drops the bike. But notice that he cuts himself short. In other words, instead of going all the way to the green tipped cone, he cuts it short, and it makes it more difficult. But he's leaning the bike. His head and eyes are good. Now watch as he comes into, not this gate, but the next one. That's where he has a problem. He lets the clutch out. It's fully engaged. Then he pulls it in because he notices he's going too fast, and the bike tips over.
Now he's turning as soon as he gets in there.
After that last tip over, I put him on my Trainer Sportster, and he does much better here, though occasionally he would go out of the friction zone and the bike would pick up speed. But this bike is much more forgiving due to its being 200-something pounds lighter than his bike. He has determination. I have no doubt he'll be back. I'm going to give him a private lesson for free on this Sportster. And once he gets good on that, we'll put him back on the CVO. So what I did with this rider is I let him finish the class on the Sportster. He did much better. And I told him what he needs to work on, mainly the clutch and throttle. And that's just a matter of doing the slow race and turning the bars back and forth at low speeds until you get a good handle on how that clutch and throttle works and how it helps you. And I told him, come on back, I'll put him on the Sportster, give him a private lesson, and I won't charge him anything for it because he has the determination, so I know he can do it. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and comment below.